Have you ever stood in the middle of a buzzing crowd, laughter ringing in your ears, conversations overlapping, the energy thick with forced enthusiasm, only to feel a quiet but persistent urge to vanish? While everyone around you appears swept up in the moment, you're acutely aware of the exhaustion creeping in, the mental tally of minutes until you can politely excuse yourself. That subtle tension between societal expectations and your inner discomfort isn't just random, it might hint at something deeper. You could share an unspoken kinship with Sigma males, a distinct breed of individuals who navigate the world on their own terms, often indifferent to the fanfare of mainstream culture. Sigma males aren't antisocial or joyless. Rather, they're selectively social, allergic to the performative aspects of modern life, the pressure to revel in crowded parties, chase viral trends, or plaster their experiences online for validation. Where others unquestioningly embrace the hype, Sigma males pause. They dissect the illusion, asking, is this event truly as fun as people claim, or are we all just pretending because it's the script we've been handed? Their skepticism isn't cynicism, it's a refusal to conflate popularity with genuine fulfillment. Unlike alpha males who dominate social hierarchies or beta males who conform to them, Sigma males operate outside the system entirely. They're the observers, the solo travelers, the ones who derive meaning from quiet depth rather than collective noise. Their compass points inward, guiding them toward solitude, niche interests, and experiences that resonate personally, even if they're deemed weird or boring by conventional standards. A packed nightclub might feel like sensory overload to them, while a midnight walk under city lights sparks profound contentment. In this video, we'll explore 8 things Sigma males can't stand, phenomena that society adores but they quietly reject. From the chaos of amusement parks to the shallow spectacle of trendy restaurants, these contrasts reveal a fascinating clash of values. If you've ever nodded along to group plans while secretly dreading them, or questioned why certain must-do activities feel so hollow, this breakdown might feel like someone finally putting your unspoken thoughts into words. Number 1. Nightclubs, the theater of forced revelry. Nightclubs sell the fantasy of uninhibited liberation, strobe lights slicing through haze machines, bass vibrations traveling up through the floorboards into your ribcage, bartenders juggling bottles in a spectacle of mixology. Social convention dictates that this is where memories are made, where strangers become lovers through shouted conversations over DJ beats, where tequila shots erase workplace stress, where everyone is ostensibly having the time of their lives. To the Sigma male, however, clubs reveal themselves as temples of performative hedonism. The dance floor is less about authentic movement than about being seen moving, a display of preening and posture where every hip sway and hair flip serves as a mating call or status signal. Attempts at conversation devolve into lip-reading exercises, with discussions limited to banalities. What do you do? I said, what do you do, before collapsing into nodding and forced smiles. Even the music, carefully engineered for maximum stimulation, becomes oppressive after 20 minutes, a relentless assault of synth loops and auto-tuned vocals designed to override critical thought. What Sigma males find most draining isn't the noise itself, but the implicit social contract, that you must mirror the crowd's escalating frenzy or risk being labeled a downer. The pressure to drink beyond comfort levels, to feign interest in strangers' shouted life stories, to dance when you'd rather observe, it all accumulates into a performance that exhausts their mental reserves. They may attend occasionally out of social obligation or curiosity, but you'll find them leaning against the least crowded wall, sipping a single drink slowly, mentally calculating how soon they can leave without causing offense. Their ideal version of a night out? A speakeasy with live jazz where the music complements conversation instead of crushing it, or a rooftop gathering where the city lights provide better ambience than any DJ ever could. Number 2. Amusement parks, where chaos overshadows thrills. Amusement parks present themselves as wonderlands of exhilaration, towering steel roller coasters that defy gravity, dizzying carnival games with oversized plush prizes, and vibrant parades where costumed performers dance to pulsing music. The air hangs thick with the saccharine aroma of cotton candy and popcorn, mingling with the occasional whiff of sunscreen and sweat. For the average visitor, these sensory assaults are part of the charm, an acceptable price to pay for those fleeting moments of weightless euphoria on a 60 miles per hour drop. But for the Sigma male, what others dismiss as part of the experience feels like an assault on their nervous system. The endless queues, winding like serpents through cramped switchbacks, force them into uncomfortably close quarters with strangers whose loud conversations and unpredictable movements set their teeth on edge. Every direction assaults the senses, shrieking children, blaring pop music from unseen speakers, the mechanical roar of rides punctuated by artificial sound effects. Even the park's attempts at whimsy, like animatronic characters or theme zones, register as garish and artificial to their perceptive eyes. It's not that Sigma males dislike fun or adrenaline, many enjoy calculated risks like rock climbing or backcountry hiking. But amusement parks demand surrender to chaos, requiring visitors to relinquish all control to the crowd, the schedule, and the corporate-designed experience. The Sigma males mind rebels against this loss of autonomy. If they do attend, their visit resembles a military operation, strategic off-season timing, fast passes secured weeks in advance, and a strict exit plan before fatigue sets in. They might ride 1 or 2 flagship attractions, savor a quiet moment watching fountains in a less crowded area, then depart long before the fireworks finale, content with having sampled the experience without being consumed by it. Number 3, the theater of consumerist madness, Sigma males and the art of strategic disengagement. Black Friday isn't merely a sales event, it's a cultural phenomenon that lays bare humanity's basest instincts under capitalism's glittering promise. The pre-dawn lines snaking around big-box stores, the viral videos of grown adults wrestling over discounted electronics, the temporary suspension of normal social decorum in service of saving $200 on a television, it all forms a grotesque carnival of manufactured scarcity. For the average consumer, this annual ritual provides a potent cocktail of adrenaline and accomplishment, transforming shopping into a blood sport with tangible trophies. Sigma males approach this spectacle with the detached curiosity of an anthropologist observing tribal rites. They recognize the psychological warfare embedded in doorbuster deals, the intentionally limited quantities, the countdown timers, the strategic placement of high-demand items to maximize foot traffic. Where others feel the thrill of the hunt, Sigma males perceive only engineered desperation. The supposed savings rarely justify the emotional toll, the clammy panic of competing against fellow shoppers, the hours lost to queues, the inevitable letdown when the amazing deal turns out to be last year's model with cosmetic changes. Their alternative approach reveals a masterclass in consumer discipline. Sigma males operate on what might be called temporal arbitrage, purchasing desired items during off-season lulls when retailers quietly clear inventory, or leveraging price-tracking tools to buy at genuine, rather than hyped, lows. They understand that most limited-time offers reappear cyclically, and that peace of mind holds greater value than marginal savings. This philosophy extends beyond shopping. It's a broader rejection of herd mentality, of allowing corporations to dictate when and how one should spend. In a world that equates frenzy with festivity, the Sigma male's ability to sit out the madness, content with having what they need when they need it, becomes its own form of quiet rebellion. Number 4, the tyranny of perpetual documentation, why Sigma males refuse to perform for the camera. In an era where every sunset requires an Instagram story and every restaurant meal demands a TikTok review, society has collectively accepted a new form of social currency, the meticulously curated digital footprint. Smartphones have become prosthetic memory devices, with people interrupting genuine experiences to stage, filter, and archive them for public consumption. The modern obsession with documentation has birthed absurd new rituals, friends freezing mid-conversation for a selfie, hikers prioritizing photo angles over mountain vistas, concertgoers watching entire shows through their phone screens. For the Sigma male, this compulsive documentation feels like a fundamental betrayal of lived experience. Where others see opportunity, this will get great engagement. They see distraction, the violent wrenching of attention from the present moment to the digital realm. Consider the simple act of walking through an autumn forest, where most might stop every few minutes to capture the perfect, golden hour shot. The Sigma male would rather feel the crisp air filling their lungs, notice how sunlight filters through crimson maple leaves, and hear the rhythmic crunch of foliage underfoot. These sensory details form what psychologists call episodic memories, rich, multidimensional recollections that no flat, filtered image could ever replicate. The Sigma male's aversion isn't simply about rejecting technology, it's a philosophical stance against performative living. They observe with quiet amusement as crowds jostle for the same cliched photo ops at tourist landmarks, or as acquaintances painstakingly craft social media personas that bear little resemblance to their authentic selves. There's an unspoken question that lingers in their mind. When you spend your life constructing a highlight reel for strangers, who actually gets to experience your real life? This perspective allows Sigma males to develop a rare form of memory, one where recollections aren't tied to digital artifacts, but to the emotional resonance of moments fully inhabited. Number 5, the hollow spectacle of Instagram dining, a Sigma male's culinary philosophy. Modern, restaurants have become multisensory theaters where food plays a supporting role to aesthetics. The signature dish arrives under a cloud of dry ice, its vivid colors meticulously arranged for optimal phone camera capture. Diners stand on chairs to photograph cocktails from above, their phones hovering like paparazzi over a celebrity. Menus feature intentionally bizarre ingredient pairings designed to be talked about rather than truly savored, charcoal-infused, deconstructed, gold leaf-dusted anything. Sigma males view this culinary circus with a mix of amusement and dismay. They recognize the economic genius behind viral restaurants, where the actual dining experience matters less than its shareability factor, but refuse to participate in the charade. For them, the telltale signs of a restaurant prioritizing hype over substance are unmistakable. The lighting test: if the space is lit specifically for phone cameras rather than human eyes, brutally bright or suspiciously moody. The menu red flags: excessive use of reinvented, elevated, or unexpected to describe basic dishes. The soundtrack paradox: music so loud it prevents conversation, yet everyone is silently scrolling anyway. Their alternative dining manifesto emphasizes the 15-minute rule: no restaurant requiring over 15 minutes wait time can possibly justify the hype-to-quality ratio. The staff test: observing whether servers can knowledgeably describe dishes without reciting marketing copy. The leftover principle: if the food isn't good enough to take home, it wasn't worth ordering. Sigma males cultivate relationships with neighborhood bistros where the chef remembers their preferences, with family-run ethnic eateries where recipes span generations rather than trend cycles, with quiet wine bars where the sommelier genuinely cares about pairings rather than Instagram tags. In these spaces, they experience what dining was meant to be: nourishment complemented by human connection, where the only likes that matter are the satisfied sighs after the last bite. The Sigma male's culinary choices reveal a broader life philosophy: that chasing what's popular often means missing what's genuine, and that true sophistication lies in discernment rather than following crowds. While others proudly announce they've secured reservations at impossible-to-get-into hotspots, the Sigma male smiles quietly, knowing their favorite hole-in-the-wall serves better food, and never asks diners to perform their enjoyment for an audience of digital strangers. Number 6. The paradox of adult birthday celebrations: why Sigma males reject performative milestones. Childhood birthdays exist in a realm of pure, unself-conscious joy: finger-painting sessions that devolve into giggling chaos, treasure hunts with crumpled handwritten clues, cake frosting smeared across beaming faces with no thought given to Instagram aesthetics. Yet somewhere between adolescence and adulthood, these authentic celebrations morph into something distinctly artificial: meticulously themed decor that took weeks to assemble, professional photographers capturing candid moments, and guest lists inflated by social obligations rather than genuine affection. For the Sigma male, this transformation reveals society's uncomfortable relationship with aging. The elaborate adult birthday party often becomes less about celebrating life than about performing one's social status, a chance to showcase one's popularity, through headcount, taste, through extravagant venues, and success, through lavish gift displays. They observe with quiet bewilderment as grown adults spend their own birthdays playing the role of overwrought event planners, their special day reduced to ensuring others are entertained. The ritualized gift exchanges feel particularly hollow: the frantic last-minute purchases of scented candles and liquor bottles, the performative gratitude for presents that will inevitably be re-gifted. Sigma males approach birthdays with intentionality rather than obligation. Their celebrations might involve a solo backpacking trip where sunrise over mountain peaks replaces birthday cake candles, an intimate whiskey tasting with two childhood friends who need no pretenses, a day completely disconnected from technology, spent journaling and planning personal goals. This isn't antisocial behavior, but rather a recalibration of what meaningful celebration looks like. While others chase the dopamine hit of hundreds of generic Facebook wishes, Sigma males measure the day's success by its emotional resonance. A handwritten letter from a mentor holds more value than a stack of gift cards. An afternoon spent mastering a new piano piece outweighs any crowded bar celebration. In rejecting the birthday industrial complex, they reclaim these annual milestones as authentic markers of growth rather than social performance metrics. Number 7. The soul-crushing spectacle of mandated merriment, a Sigma male's guide to surviving corporate fun. The modern workplace has perfected a special kind of psychological warfare disguised as team building, what Sigma males recognize as forced fun. These are the cringe-inducing activities where grown professionals are herded into conference rooms to build spaghetti and marshmallow towers while HR judges their collaboration skills, share fun facts about themselves that no one will remember by lunch, participate in humiliating icebreakers that violate every natural social boundary. Sigma males approach these events with the grim determination of a prisoner of war maintaining their dignity under interrogation. They've decoded the unspoken rules of this corporate theater. The enthusiasm paradox: the more a company insists an activity is fun, the more soul-crushing it will be. The hierarchy of fake smiles, upper management's grins are always slightly more strained than middle management's. The participation spectrum, from the overeager tryhard to the passive resistor, everyone is miserable in their own way. Their survival tactics are works of subtle rebellion. The strategic positioning, always choosing a seat near the exit for quick escapes. The minimal viable participation, doing exactly enough to avoid being noticed as a non-participant. The mental escape hatch, using the time to mentally draft their novel or solve complex work problems. What makes Sigma males particularly resistant to these charades is their acute awareness of authentic versus artificial connection. They've observed that real workplace bonds form in unscripted moments, the shared frustration over a broken printer, the spontaneous lunch where actual problems get solved, the quiet solidarity of working late together. No amount of mandated karaoke sessions can manufacture the trust built through these organic interactions. The Sigma male's ultimate realization? That culture-building activities are usually less about fostering connections than about giving HR departments something to put in annual reports. While others pretend to enjoy the circus, the Sigma male conserves their emotional energy for meaningful work and selective relationships, proving that sometimes, the most radical act is simply refusing to perform. Number 8. The tyranny of digital overstimulation. Why Sigma males reject the group chat circus. Modern group chats have become the digital equivalent of being trapped in a crowded subway car where everyone is shouting different conversations at once. The phone becomes a relentless taskmaster, vibrating with a constant stream of notifications, inside jokes that require context they missed, viral memes that stopped being funny 3 reposts ago, and the obligatory "Happy Thursday" messages that serve no purpose other than to keep the artificial connection alive. For the Sigma male, this digital cacophony isn't connectivity, it's a form of low-grade psychological torture. The fundamental issue lies in the forced nature of the interaction. Unlike organic conversations that flow naturally and conclude when both parties are satisfied, group chats create an endless performance space where participants feel compelled to maintain the chatter's momentum. Sigma males observe with clinical detachment as the conversation inevitably descends into the GIF wars, endless exchanges of reaction GIFs that replace actual communication. The planning paradox, 87 messages debating where to eat, only to default to the same place as last time. The notification avalanche, waking up to 200+ unread messages that contain 0 substantive content. Their coping mechanisms reveal sophisticated social strategy. The strategic mute, permanent notification silencing with scheduled weekly check-ins. The delayed response, waiting 4 to 6 hours before replying to avoid being drawn into real-time chatter. The exit ramp, gracefully bowing out of groups that exceed Dunbar's number of meaningful connections. What Sigma males crave, and deliberately cultivate, are what might be called micro-conversations, one-on-one exchanges with carefully chosen individuals at thoughtfully spaced intervals. A single 45-minute phone call with a childhood friend every month creates more authentic connection than 30 days of fragmented group chat banter. They understand that true friendship isn't measured in message frequency, but in the depth of understanding between two people, something no amount of emoji reactions can replicate. Conclusion. The Sigma male represents a fascinating paradox in modern society, fully engaged yet deliberately detached, present yet never fully absorbed by the collective frenzy. These individuals move through the world with a quiet precision, carefully calibrating their social investments like a master watchmaker adjusting delicate gears. Their apparent aloofness isn't misanthropy, but rather a sophisticated filtering system that screens out the trivial to preserve energy for the essential. Where others see only binary choices of participation or isolation, Sigma males chart a third path of selective engagement, proving that true connection flourishes not in the crowded marketplace of social approval, but in the quiet spaces between performances. This mindset constitutes a quiet revolution against the performative demands of contemporary life. The Sigma male's refusal to participate in society's charades, from viral restaurant queues to mandatory office fun, reveals an uncomfortable truth about our culture of manufactured enthusiasm. They understand what psychologists call the attention economy tax, recognizing that every notification, trending topic, and social obligation represents a tiny theft of mental sovereignty. Their lifestyle serves as a living critique of a world where digital hyperconnectivity has created the loneliest society in human history, where likes have replaced genuine validation, and where fear of missing out drives more decisions than authentic desire. The Sigma male's measured detachment isn't rejection of society, but rather a recalibration, an insistence that social value should be measured in depth rather than volume. What makes the Sigma approach truly radical is its quiet subversion of social expectations. While conventional wisdom equates popularity with value and visibility with success, Sigma males demonstrate that true sophistication lies in discernment. Their choices, whether opting for a neighborhood diner over an Instagrammable hotspot, or preferring one meaningful conversation to a dozen group chats, form a mosaic of intentional living. This philosophy creates what anthropologists might call self-contained social ecosystems, where Sigma males generate their own emotional weather rather than being buffeted by others' demands. The cost is occasional loneliness, the reward is unparalleled self-knowledge. In an age where identity has become increasingly collective and performative, the Sigma male stands as a reminder that the most revolutionary act may be the simple courage to exist on one's own terms, to engage deeply where it matters, walk away when necessary, and always reserve the right to define quality for oneself. Their entire existence poses one piercing question to the world: in the absence of audiences and applause, who would you choose to be when no one is watching?